Hello again. I shall, I think, have to choose my words a little carefully here, for I'm speaking about a criminal case which is sub judice. That is to say, it's running at the moment and the result is not yet known. I should be okay, though, if I simply stick to what is undisputed and has been published by the BBC and various newspapers. Among the many subjects about which I am no sort of expert is English law. However, even if I could not cite the actual statute involved, I know enough law to be confident that if I stand up in front of a large and angry crowd and urge them, by addressing them through a loud hailer, to cut some other people's throats while making the appropriate gesture across my own throat, that I would be breaking some law or other. I'm pretty confident about this. There never was a time in English history when it was permissible to speak in such a fashion to a gathering of people in the street. It doesn't matter really whose throats I'm suggesting should be cut, nor why I think it should be a desirable action to cut those people's throats. Any ordinary person of sound mind will know very well that this is going to lead them into trouble with the police. When a man who is 57 years of age and a local councillor into the bargain is involved, we must surely assume that he would be aware of this. I mention this because a man called Ricky Jones, one of those anti-racist or anti-fascist or whatever you might call it, who was racing around the country a month ago to be present when angry crowds gathered in London and elsewhere, appeared in court this morning charged with just such an offence. According to his defence counsel, he does not dispute that he spoke those words to a crowd about cutting people's throats. It would indeed be difficult for him to deny this, because clips of film of his doing so are all over the internet, and I give a link to one in the description to this video. His defence is, it seems, that he did not know that it was against the law for him to behave in this way. Defence barrister Hussein Zahir said Jones accepted the words had been spoken, denied knowing the offence of violent disorder would be permitted. This then is the defence, that a man who is almost 60 years of old did not realise that it might be illegal to urge a crowd to murder people. I had best comment upon this idea because, as I say, this case is sub judice, and it would be most improper for me to do so. I will, however, invite any viewers who were unaware of this legal situation to tell us about this in the comments here. In other words, is there anybody watching this video who honestly did not know until now that calling publicly for some group of people to have their throats cut might be against the law? Mind, he may be lucky if the trial is held by jury at Snaresbrook Crown Court, where he appeared by video link this morning. In the 60s and 70s, Snaresbrook had the highest acquittal rate in the whole country. This is because those summoned for jury service at Snaresbrook were selected from working class districts of East London, many of whom felt a natural antipathy towards the police and were only too happy to free some burglar or armed robber if the opportunity presented itself. In those days it was possible to challenge a certain number of jurors without giving any reason, and so defence lawyers would always try and get rid of any potential jurors who were wearing collars and ties. Working class juries are always good for an acquittal, unless you're up for interfering with children or mugging a pensioner or something. It's conceivable that Ricky Jones's defence barrister feels that it might be possible to select a jury with enough black people or people of minority ethnic origin on to secure a hung verdict, but that's only a guess.